So we're doing 5th grade, Module 4, Lesson 9, where now we're using our ability to find fractions of whole numbers, and we're looking at how that works with measurement. So we're kind of taking it one more step. So if we're trying to find 3/4 of a year equals how many months, we've done measurement conversions before, right? We've gone over the steps of how to convert for measurements. So we know that our first step is to always identify the conversion factor. That's always step number 1. We know that step number 2 is to identify which one the big and which one the little is. Like, are you going from a big unit to a small unit or a small unit to a big unit? I guess I want to say small, not big. And then step number 3, we're going to then do the math. Right? Because once we know what our bigs and our smalls, we're going to be able to tell if it's multiplication or division. There's no difference here, but now instead of it being a full year, it's 3/4 of a year. It's not like what 1 year equals how many months or 2 years equals how many months. It's 3/4 of a year equals how many months. So we're going to follow the same steps though. So let's first follow step number 1, conversion factor, years and months. I know that there are 12 months in 1 year. That's my conversion factor that I know right off the bat. There are 12 months in 1 year. When I'm looking at years and months, I know that years are much bigger than months. And so when I'm going from a big unit to a small unit, I'm going to multiply because there's going to be more months in 1 year. So I'm multiplying when I'm going from big to small. So my equation that I'm going to use here is 3/4 times 12 is going to give me how many months? Because 3/4 is my amount of years I have. And now I'm multiplying it because I'm going from years to months. And I'm multiplying it by 12. So really that's 3/4 times 12 over 1. I'm just going to go right across. 3 times 12 is 36. 4 times 1 is 4. So I get that problem of 36/4. And so if I was going to do that division, I can do 36 divided by 4 is going to be 9 months. So let's look at the next one. 2/3 of a yard equals how many inches? So we're going to follow our same steps. First, our conversion factor between inches and yards is 3. No, tricky. I just went 3 because there's 3 feet in a yard. So if there's 3 feet in 1 yard, this one is tricky. We need to go from inches to yards. So I need to know that there is 1 foot. In 1 foot, there's 12 inches. Right? 1 foot, there's 12 inches. So if there's then 3 feet in a yard, so that means there's 36 inches in 1 yard. That is our conversion factor here. And I'm going from yards to inches. So again, I'm going from big to small units here. So I'm going to multiply, and I'm going to do 2/3 times 36. And that's going to give me my total inches here. So 2/3 times 36 over 1, when I multiply straight across. 36 times 2 is, you could do it off to the side, it's going to be 72. 3 times 1 is 3. So now I get 72/3, and I'm going to simplify that by actually doing the division. 3 goes into 7 2 times, and then subtract, I get 1. Bring down the 2, 3 goes into 12 4 times, and that goes in nicely. So 72/3 equals 24. So that means that 2/3 of a yard is 24 inches. So we're using our same multiplication of fraction steps, and now we're just throwing in a conversion factor on top of it. Okay, so here we go with question number 3. At the market, Mrs. Wynn bought 3/4 of a pound of grapes and 5/8 of a pound of cherries. How many ounces of grapes did Mrs. Wynn buy? So let's relook at this. She bought 3/4 a pound of grapes. That's all I need to focus on. I can ignore the cherries. I know that she bought 3/4 of a pound. And the question is, how many ounces did she buy? So I need to know 3/4 of a pound equals how many ounces? Well, I know that there are 16 ounces in 1 pound. So I can do 3/4 times 16, and that'll give me how many ounces there are, because I'm going from a big unit to a small unit. So 3 times 16 is 48. 4 times 1 is 4. So I get 48/4, which I know is a fact for me. I know that 48 divided by 4 is going to be 12. So it's going to be 12 ounces is the total amount of grapes that she bought. Let's look at B. How many ounces of cherries did she buy? So we're going to do the same thing now, but with cherries. So she bought 5/8 a pound of cherry. So now I'm going to start with 5/8 of a pound equals how many ounces? So same conversion factor of 16 ounces is 1 pound. And I'm still going from a big unit to a small unit, so I'm still going to multiply. So I'm going to do 5/8 times 16 over 1. 5 times 16, 8 times 1. Well, 5 times 16 is 80. 8 times 1 is 8. So I get 80/8, which I can do division. I can do the standard algorithm if I need to, or if I can see that this is 10, that's awesome. So this is going to be 10 ounces. So she bought 10 ounces of cherries, and she bought 12 ounces of grapes. So we're able to use our general understanding of multiplying a fraction times a whole number, and now we're just throwing in conversions on top of that. So we're using the same math skill, just in a new way.